All right. By chance, if you guys get a chance to take time, watch this, whether it's now or later on, I unfortunately got issues with TikTok. And because of that, I was making a pre-video about the detox camp that I'm putting together that will be starting Saturday. And if you all are not familiar with me, my name is William Surf Riles, and I am the creator of We Ride for a Cure page, as well as We Ride Biker for Life. As you can see, the clothing line, although it's backwards. My goal with this page is to help people stay focused on their health goals and reaching their goals, but also teaching them about the simplicity of being healthy and being health conscious. I also have products that I have called Power Water and Ammo Packs. And these products that I made them for the specific purpose of helping me stay active as I was healing through my trials and tribulations of colon cancer, and through the help of two great men to give me guidance on the best way of dealing with this and understanding what I was going through. I'm now 7 years cancer free. So this is a pre-video now, because I can't go back on TikTok and do a live video until the 26th. I'm going to do a few live videos here. I've been doing a couple of them on my other page. So if you all get a chance to watch this video, I want you all to remember that this video intended purpose is, after I explain my technique and some of the philosophies that I've studied, you take these philosophies and you use them to benefit you. Getting healthy is not something that you imagine and you fantasize. Getting healthy is something that you observe and practice and put in the execution of what is required for you to do to get healthy. And it is not an easy road, but you can get through it. The subject that I titled this video is "Cut Them Off So You Can Heal." Too many of us, and I'm putting myself in that situation, allow others to drain our precious energy source that is absorbed by emotions. We get depressed, and we have people telling us everything that you have done wrong. And that is because they watched you do everything wrong, but they never stopped you before what you was doing wrong got worse. Have you had those before? You have to cut these individuals off, because they will never allow you to heal completely. You have to remove yourself, from these individuals that live a lifestyle that does nothing but drain your resources. That also includes loved ones. They get caught up in this zone and they never advance. Me being quote unquote African American, Aboriginal American, we have too many of our family members, whether it be your sisters, your brothers, your mothers, and your fathers, and they keep you on this level when they are supposed to help you elevate. How many I'm using this as an example. Thanks for tuning in. How many of us go to family reunions and we see so many of our family members, they drinking, they smoking, they eating terrible food, they unhealthy, somebody's sick. And every year, every reunion, somebody's either sick, somebody's dying, somebody done died, somebody's drugged out, somebody's got a child that they can't afford to take care of, somebody's going to jail. How many family reunions do you hear about people actually creating generational wealth for our families? Stop there and think about that for a second. That's the problem and why you're not healing. And you are surrounded by depression. You are surrounded with financial depression. You're surrounded with depression that is dragged by overdosing of drugs and alcohol. You are surrounded by people who are addicted to something, and they take that energy out on you because they know that you're nothing like them, and they know that you have more resources than they do because all they do is absorb. They don't contribute. They only contribute to depression and anger and sadness. How many of you all have family members like that? How many of you all have friends that are like that? So today's message before my detox camp starts, cut them off so you can heal. Now, before I got on this line, I got a beautiful sword and I put it on my TikTok because I was going live for 30 minutes and they cut me off. So I'm not going to bring the sword out because I don't want any issues. But I have a sword. And I brought that sword out to recognize you're cutting off the negativity that you can't grow from. So I have a ritual that I ask people to do. And that is take some water. Take a notepad. Hold on. I'm not just talking. Get you a notepad. Whenever you start a detox program, whenever you begin to start any type of healing, you need to get a notepad. I say get 3 notepads. For all my clients, I tell them it's a must you get 3 notepads. The first notepad that you're going to get, and all of this, if you use this, I promise you, you are going to see the results. You need 3 notepads. One notepad is for all of your vitals. Everything that's going on with you. If you're taking any medicines, if you're sick, if you're dealing with any health issues, anything, you put this on this first pad. Because if something should happen to you and the ambulance is called, you have all of your vitals so that they know who they are dealing with before they do anything. Because there's a lot of mistakes that can happen when a person is unconscious and they're going into the hospital and these people do not know what your symptoms are. The second notepad is going to be everything that you need to study about your condition. You are going to have all of the substances, all of the foods, learning your blood type, knowing everything that you need to have available for you so that as you're going through your regimen, your detox, you know everything that you need to put in effect. If you are dealing with colon cancer like I did, you have to have things that are high in vitamin A, D, C, K, because it helps you stay undepressed. But also, you need to have your mineral content team so that your body can naturally oxidize itself as it is consuming whatever substances you're taking, whether it's a food substance, whether it's a liquid substance. You have that in your second paper, your second notepad. And the third notepad will be your notepad of goals accomplished, which also requires you to get a calendar. So this is how this works. In your second notepad, with everything that you are supposed to get to help stay healthy, you're going to keep a diary of all of the things that you have experienced. This is where the cutoff comes in. I asked for 21 days, but a maximum of 4 months. So right now we are December 19th, soon to be the 20th. Between now and April of 2025, if you're serious about this journey, you are going to keep a notepad of where you want to be in April, where you want to be in 21 days, where you want to be in 2 months. And you're going to keep a diary, you're going to keep a phone, You're going to take pictures of yourself every day. You're going to record yourself and write down these vital instructions that you need to remind yourself of. The next thing I want people to start doing is getting more in tune with drinking water every day. There is a water ritual that works, and you have to continue applying it. And if you keep your notes, you're going to see the results, because now you're cutting people off and you're getting back to you. So this is where you have that moment of silence, that solitary confinement, that those who may have gone to jail, thankfully I've never been to jail, but I know about being in solitary confinement because I was in the priesthood at one point in my life. And one of the rituals that we had to do, we had to sit in a room with nothing in there except a candle or maybe a light. No radio, no TV, no phone. Our objective is to clear our minds of everything that has been in there. And in this room, it's only you, maybe a particular color, a candle, an incense, a very sensuous aroma smell, whether it's rosemary, sage, lemon balm, frankincense, or myrrh. These are peaceful scents. But the objective here is you are cutting off negative emotions that have been imputed in you by your surroundings. This is where your therapy begins. Now you're asking yourself, how did I get to this point? How did I get so messed up that I'm in this point right here? And this is why you have a notepad. You are going to write this stuff down. And this is going to allow you to break down all of the things that you are experiencing, that you are going through, so that you can improve the situation by getting rid of the things that are no longer important in your life. That includes a lot of your friends that are draining you. A lot of your, and please don't take this the wrong way. Your boyfriend, your girlfriend could be the reason why you sick. And you trying to hold on to that person that's doing nothing for you. You're supposed to grow in a relationship. And when it stops growing, it starts dying. And when it starts to die, it starts to decay. And there's a stench that you may not be able to smell because you're so close to it that you don't realize that you're the one that's dying. So we got to cut this off. We have to start cutting off the things that no longer serves us. And that includes your habits. So I want you all to, and I appreciate you all watching me. And please, if you got any questions, if you all can hear me pretty good, please let me know. Miss Casinda, please, I can't see it clearly. You're saying hi, peace. Alan Kids, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. All right. I'm going to use Mr. Andre Taylor's statement because this is one of the statements that I know saved my life when I was dealing with cancer 10 years ago. Everything breaks down to values. This is the first problem. We're not valuing ourselves. So let's evaluate ourselves. Why are we in the situation that we're in? Because of the same thing that depression brings out. Is either we're scared of something and we don't want to face it. We're scared of losing. We're scared to step out and say what we really feel. We're scared that we may cause an argument. And let me say this. I was married. And one of the things that I used to go off on me about was the fact that I didn't open up my mouth and say what I needed to say and stand on it. And a man must stand on everything that he believes. Because if you value yourself, you're not going to let somebody devaluate you. Okay? I allowed myself to go so hard in trying to please people that unfortunately it ended up It ended up putting me in the hospital because I was holding on. Hold on, y'all. Okay, we got some shout out to YouTube for flagging a message that came in here. There's some negative people on here that's sending out some nasty messages, and unfortunately, there's always somebody weird. All right, so I'm not gonna say what he said, but anyway, so I spent a large portion of my life, about 27 years, trying my best to impress and please people with the art that I do, being a serious artist, trying to live up to a certain standard, never on drugs, never gangbanged, never been to jail, never did anything that was disrespectful to my mother and father's last name, trying to be a positive black man, trying to give back to the community. I did all of that. And it almost killed me. It almost put me in a hospital. I got married when I married at the age that I wanted to get married. I never had any children. I thought I was doing the right thing. And I believe I did. And it ended up turning into a nightmare. Putting my trust in people that I thought was about business. And I practically lost everything. And then cancer came into my life. And allow me to say this, if you all are watching and you can hear, I hope you all can hear me clearly. I don't want anybody to go through what I went through. So I make these videos on my TikTok page and on here so that people will get the message. I spent so much time in my life trying to live up to a standard that I thought was righteous, that it ended up giving me the biggest middle finger that I can ever imagine. And it almost cost me my life. And I say I lost almost everything. Had it not been for the motorcycle community that I belong to, I'd have been homeless. Okay? Until this day, I'm still dealing with certain things that it took me 8 years to recover from. The place that I'm talking to you all at right now, I've been living here for a year. I've lived with 2 of my sisters and 1 of my biker bros, trying to get myself back together, while the person that I was married to moved on. That's one of the hardest things that I had to experience. As well as being called everything that you can imagine and being disrespected by someone that you loved. And the manhood in me had to bear it. Because at the end of the day, that is what I asked for. That's why I was in the situation I was in. Because that's what I asked for. And many of you all, should you watch this video, are in that same predicament. Because at the end of everything, this is what you asked for. So now, take accountability for what you did or what you didn't do. And as my elder said, as I was in therapy, which is one of the greatest things that I've ever got an opportunity to have, is therapy. I had a person that said to me, and I quote, "What was it about your marriage that still bothers you?" And I said, "I lost." And he said, "What did you lose?" "I lost my wife because of a bad financial decision." And he said, "Did you purposely mess up your finances?" And I said, "No." "Did you cheat on this woman?" I said, "No." Did you have any babies? Did you give her a disease?" I said, "No." Did you leave her homeless?" "No." Were you homeless? No. Did you purposely try to mess up your marriage? I said no. Did you love this woman? I said no. I mean, yes, excuse me. Yeah. I said yes. He said, did you keep your oath to her? I said, man, I kept my oath to her before I made my oath to her. And the man stopped the class, said, everybody clap for this man. Said, you was in the Super Bowl and you just don't realize it. Do you know how many people would love to have been in your shoes to say that you loved your wife and didn't think about anybody else? Do you have any idea how many women would have loved to have had a man like you, knowing that there was not another woman that was on your mind except that woman? There are women who got everything they want from their man except their man, because they can't stop cheating. And you sitting up here crying over somebody that you tried to be good with. Man, listen, from this point on, you no longer feel sorry about trying to be good. It was just time for it to end. As long as you didn't do anything on purpose wrong and you tried your best, that's all that's important. You got to cut that energy off and move on. I hope you guys hear me, and I hope this message hits y'all to the core. You have to learn how to move on, but you're going to have to learn how to cut some things off. There's nothing wrong with saying to these people, I can't talk to you until I am healed 100%. I can't come around here with y'all until I am completely where I want to be in my life. I blocked your phone because until I fully get myself to where I want to be, I don't want to see you. No disrespect. I don't want to see you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be nowhere around you. You're not the energy that I want to be around. And you got to stand on that. But you also have to start saying to yourself, I am not coming back out here until I am completely where I want to be. And maybe it's going to require you to stay away from people for 4 months, a year, 6 months. It may require you to do that. But until you get yourself together, you're going to have to cut yourself off from people. There was a great jazz musician by the name of Miles Davis. And Miles Davis went to France. And when he came back from France, if you all never seen the story of Miles Davis got in such a deep depression coming back to the United States from leaving France and Europe and being so famous and loved and honored there, to come back to the United States at that time and being disrespected by white people and just the society that he was in, that he ended up getting on drugs. And heroin was very famous for jazz musicians. And it got to him so bad that he went to his father's house, because they had a home. And if you all remember the story goes like this. Okay? Miles Davis told his father, whatever you do for the next 7 days, do not open this door. I don't care how hard I scream. I don't care how much yelling I do. Do not open this door for 7 days. He padlocked the door and he stayed in that room for 7 days. And what Miles Davis did for 7 days, he got that addiction out of his system so that he can function. Anyone that's ever been on drugs can tell you, kicking an addiction is hell. Some of you all are going through that without drugs. It's called depression. And that depression is because you see people with stuff that you don't have, that you would like, doing things that you are not doing, that you want to do, that you want to be in this atmosphere, and you can't do it because maybe your finances are not where it needs to be, and you're not in a place in your life where you're happy. That's depression. So if you all are still on and you watch this message, here's a hidden gem. Did you know that most heart attacks are on Mondays between 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.? That's because people dread going to work on Mondays. Find something to look forward to. If you all can hear me, let me know you all can hear me. Give me a thumbs up or yes, I can hear you, etc. If you know anybody that is dealing with depression, that is dealing with a situation that is bringing them down, do me a huge favor and share this video. Every day is equivalent to 3 days. Just like 3 days is 72 hours away, that means you need to set a 72-hour day and get yourself ready for everything that you're going to deal with. This is going to help fight depression. When you have something to look forward to when you wake up in the morning that you're eager to accomplish, you are less depressed. When you set your schedule for the next day, you have something to look forward to, and the day before that, after that one, and the day after that one, it keeps your mind from wandering about what to do and what you can't do. You have a goal. This is what I ask people who are dealing with cancer to start doing. You need to set goals. You need to establish something that gives you some type of fulfillment. You need to set your schedules so that you are able to look forward to the next day. This is why we're depressed. If you have a test that you have to do and you study for that test and you make sure that you had every angle analyzed, you're more likely to pass that test, but you're more likely to feel confident about passing that test than you would if you didn't study. Now you're nervous and you worried that it's going to affect your grade. This is why I just said you have to look at every day equivalent to 3 days. 1 day of your life, you should accomplish 3 days of work. That keeps your mind from being depressed. That keeps your mind active and focused on your goal. This is why I said you need to get a notepad and you start writing these things down. And as you do this, I have a trick that if you all will practice this, it will benefit you down the line. Tibetan monks use this. Buddhist monks use this. Tibetan monks and Buddhist monks are two totally different groups. They still practice Buddhism, but it's different degrees of Buddhism. So I'm going to give you something to look forward to. Okay? I want you at this moment to find a picture that elevates you, that makes you want to elevate. I'm going to turn this around so you can see some of the things that I have in here. If you all have never seen what I do for a living, I'm an artist of I'm an airbrush artist of 36 years. I'm going to show you all what I do for a living. Okay? That's what I do for a living. So this is your assignment. You have to find an image that best suits you, that as soon as you see it, it elevates a thought in you to do better. This picture picture is from 1996. Egyptian lovers, as you can see. I did this in 1996. So you have to have a visualization of where you want to be. I said one day I'm gonna build a house, and me and my loved one, we're gonna have a place like that. All right. You have to have a vision. You have to have something that keeps you visualized. This is Angelos Solomonos. Angelos Solomon. He was a very well-known genius. Okay. My brother Mason, who went to a very high degree of masonry. A lot of people looked up to him. I keep this on my wall to always stay on my purpose. I also have this here. This is from my book, the book of 36720, quotes to wake you up. And one of the first chapters, it says, and I quote, "You are not allowed to be average." I also have the quote that saved my life. That's Rakim. I'm gonna turn this around. Let's see if I can turn it around. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna see if I can turn this around. As you all can see, you have to have something to keep it. This scene was from the video Move the Crowd. This verse is the reason why I'm still alive today. Had I not heard him say this verse in that video when I was soon to be 15 years old, I may have died that night. I watched that video 10 times talking to my father. I actually copied this video off of a video screen and I turned it into a poster. This is the verse that saved my life. You have to have some type of vision of something that keeps you motivated. All right? And I'm going to show you this scene right here. This scene is from the movie Fresh. That's Samuel Jackson playing against his son in the movie. This scene for me is one of the best versions of you and working on you. And this chessboard is a representation of everything that you're dealing with in life. It's like a chess game. Samuel Jackson represents the person that is trying to better himself through his younger self, his son. This is a testimony between you, the wiser part of you, and the younger part of you. And it's your divine duty to help fix yourself. And that chessboard is a representation of your life and you being navigated by your higher self. Do you all understand that? It's one of the greatest movies ever produced. So these are my examples of how I work on myself. And I have a statement that I use, and the statement is, I command you to be great. I command you to be prosperous. I command you to be greater today than you were yesterday. Now, you all looking at me, I'm 52 years old. If I showed you how I look 10 years ago, when all this stuff crashed on me, you all will be like, wow. Wow. So find an area where you can be quiet, that you can sit and meditate, and that you can actually write these things down that you're trying to accomplish. Get a calendar and write down exactly what you want to accomplish in the weeks to come. What are you trying to accomplish in the weeks to come, in the months to come? If you all would like to be a part of my 2024 Detox Camp Winter Edition, it starts Saturday. Because I'm on TikTok a lot, and TikTok Trip, they just cut me off. I'm really ticked off about them because they really overdoing it. I'm going to make some videos on here, and I'm going to go live on here, and hopefully I'll catch you all. The first thing I want you all to do, again, get you 3 notepads. The first notepad is all of your vitals. The second notepad is all of the things that you need to get in order to stay healthy. Find out your blood type and get a blood type chart. I'm going to talk about that. You all can actually go on this page and take a look at my previous videos that I made, and I talk about the importance of knowing your blood type. Number 3, third book is your book of goals. Also get a calendar. For the next 120 days, that's 4 months. That's in April. Your goal right now is to put yourself in a better position that you want to be before spring really kicks off. Get a picture of yourself or somebody that looks good, that has a scenery that motivates you, that you say to yourself, if it's a car, I want to get this car at the end of the month. I want to get this car in 4 months. In 4 months, I want to have a better portfolio. I want to finish up this. I want to have something that you want to get accomplished. Dedicate an hour a day to you. Start saying that you love you. I'm serious about that. Here's another trick I got. I talked about the water. Now I'm using this as an example. You want to get you some fresh water. You're going to put the water in here. You're going to get you a piece of paper. You're going to write down an affirmation that matches your energy. And you're going to take that piece of paper. You're going to tape it up on that piece of on that bottle of water. And before you drink that water, 19 times, or do it for 5 minutes, I will. And write down what you're going to do. Write down what you want. My confidence is on 10 today. My success is on 10 today. I love me more today than I've loved myself ever before. Whatever your goal is, I will succeed. I am grateful. I am thankful. And you're going to put that in that water. You're going to speak to that water that's in there. And you're going to do this for at least, I'm going to tell you all right now, for at least 1 minute. I like to do it for at least 5 minutes. I'm grateful that I was able to accomplish my goals. I'm grateful I made some money today. I'm grateful I was able to pay my bills. I'm grateful that I made it home safely. I'm grateful I was able to go to work safely. I'm grateful that I have new clients coming in. I'm grateful that I'm able to stay protected and loved. I will do better today. And when you finish, drink that water. That's your goal that you do every day. What you're doing is you are imputing confidence in you by way of the water that you're drinking, because the water becomes you. Do you understand? Water carries memory. All right? Now, the more you do this, the more you're going to start noticing that your energy level is better. You're not as depressed as you used to be. You're not as down as you used to be, because now you are raising your vibration by the spiritual affirmations of the word. And the more that you start applying this, and it's not costing you any money, you're going to start recognizing that you are beginning to attract more positive people around you. You're going to start noticing that the people that you need to help you bring yourself up to a higher platform, they're going to start coming around you a lot more. You're going to start noticing how people that you need in your life is going to start coming around you. But you're going to also notice that the people that you don't need around you, they're going to start slowly disappearing. You're going to start noticing that the energy that you're putting out is going to put you in a better place. That's because you are demanding through your affirmations that I want better. And this science is so in depth that as your body begins to hear you see these things and say these things, you have cells among cells among cells among cells among cells in your body that have memory. And just like parasites, and I'm not trying to scare folks, your cells are a reproduction of you in the tiniest of scales. Just like you hungry, your cells get hungry. Just like you, when you got to go to the washroom and make that call to nature, your cells do the same exact thing, except they do it much faster than you. They are born, they live, they breathe, they urinate, they defecate, they get depressed, they get happy, and they also pass away. And that is what you call when your skin begins to shed. When you sit up here and you go through a phase after a month, some women call it a cycle. A man goes through a cycle too. The difference between a woman's cycle and a man's cycle, a woman's cycle is every 24 to 28 days. A man's cycle is every 3 months. Did you know that? I just gave y'all some game. A woman's cycle, that's a train. I live by a train. If y'all hear that train in the background, and it's extremely loud, I am so sorry about the train. Good Lord. A woman's cycle is every 3 weeks. A man's cycle is every 3 months. How many of you all knew that? All right. So, as you go through this new phase, remember every cell in your body reacts to what you give it and how you're feeling at that moment. If you won $1 million right now, your whole atmosphere would change. Your whole attitude would change. Well, your cells recognize the change. When you put your energy in your water, the body reacts. If you eat good food, your body reacts. If you eat bad food, your body reacts. When you are depressed, your body reacts. So we're going to go into why you're depressed. You're depressed because of some things that you can fix. But you're also depressed because of the things that you asked for. When you get what you asked for, ask yourself, did you really want it? Did you really want what you asked for? So, you asked to be in that group of people that's hanging out and doing nothing but partying and goofing off all week, that's broke the very next day. You asked for that. If you didn't ask for it, why are you associating with people that are broke every week? They party hardy all weekend, but they broke on Monday, the same day that people historically catch heart attacks. You broke because you're around a bunch of people that do nothing with their money but waste it. You got what you asked for. So when do you start cutting these people off? When do you start cutting off these bad habits so that you can do better? When do you stop with the BS? This is what the Detox Camp is going to go deep and more in depth into. And I hope that you all get a chance to actually watch and learn something from this. Sit in the area where it's nothing on except the silence. Sit and meditate and think about the things that you want to get done, and think about the things that you haven't gotten done, and actually look deep and down inside and figure out why things have not happened. There's a thing called a retrograde where we're actually in. And in this retrograde, it happens every 3 months. This is where the earth is going through its transition, if you all didn't realize that. The earth is actually going through a transition. It's going through a slow cycle. And each planet has their own quote-unquote retrograde. It lasts about three weeks. Sometimes it lasts 3 months. Sometimes it can last even longer than that, depending on what planet it is. We're in Mercury retrograde, which means that any communications that you have going on, any electrical stuff, cars, transportation, communication, it gets slightly cut off. Right now, some of you all are going through this stage in your life. It's called cancer. It's called high blood pressure, diabetes. You're sick. This is your body going through what is called its own natural retrograde, and it's giving you a certain amount of time to fix the problem. In this case, instead of it being 3 weeks, it could be 3 months. So in that 3 months, in some business communities, they call it the 90-day year. The 90-day year. They take some 90 days to get everything they need to do for the rest of the year. And that's why when you go to certain stores, you notice that they already, like right now, we're in Christmas. They getting ready to do New Year's. And right after New Year's, they're going to start doing Valentine's Day. And right before Valentine's Day kick, they already doing St. Patrick's Day. And right before that, they're doing Easter. They already know how to get this stuff. They already ahead of themselves. So this is why you're depressed. You have nothing to look forward to because you're looking at what everybody else is doing instead of doing what you need to do, because you don't have a game plan. So this is what we want to get into. How do we set a game plan for us to win during this time period? All right. For those who watched and gave me the compliments, I thank you, including the one that they blocked because he said something silly, and I probably will be reporting him. I appreciate you all watching this video. I hope that you all will subscribe to the channel and learn from the different things that I speak on this content. This page is dedicated for health, wealth, and abundance, dealing with cancer, dealing with any issues that people may have. I'm a 7-year cancer survivor, and now I'm teaching people how to work on cancer issues. We don't cure here, we kill it. Our objective is to kill cancer and stop it from growing in your body. And I teach these methods. There's many people that teach it. I'm one of them. I'm a humble student of the late, great Dr. Sadie. Also, my personal elder, Chris Williams. And what I learned from them. And because of them, I'm here speaking to you all now. And I'm going to leave it there. If you learned anything from this video, please share it. Leave me a like. Let me know what you think about it. I take all compliments, even complaints, because I'm learning. All right. My name is William Surf Rouse, and I am the creator of the We Ride for a Cure page, as well as We Ride Biker for Life, which is an all motorcycle clothing line and art series created by me. I am the first African American, quote unquote, / Aboriginal biker artist to create a biker line dealing with real biker stories from people in the biker community of the dark hue persuasion. This page was dedicated to those who are trying to get health regimens that they can work. It's very easy and simple to do. And as of now, I'm a 7-year cancer survivor. And I appreciate y'all watching. I'm off this line. I command you to be great. I command you to be prosperous. I command you to be greater today than you were yesterday. Be safe.